All right, y'all, so we're back a few days later, and we got our oil pan back. We couldn't successfully braze it, and our hole placement was just not great for welding, so we had to move it up here. We got it welded at a shop that did an okay job, but it wasn't a TIG job like he said it was gonna be, so there's a little bit of like flux everywhere. It's a little shadowy, not the greatest. I mean, it's solid.
It's functional.
Works.
That's it. There's
It's
like
functional.
3 times the material there it needs to be. It's not. It doesn't look like it's been like.
It's not cleaned up at all. It's functional. And he had to plug this one, and once again, it's functional. I mean, it's okay. So now I need to clean up all the old RTV on here. I got this little soft bristle thing from Ace Hardware. This is a 240 grit, loads of bristles. Let's give that a try on here and see how well it works. All right. So I read something about online about how lighter fluid is good for taking off RTV. Let's see how good that is. So it turns out lighter fluid actually works pretty good. I'm sure it'll work just the same as gasoline. It really eats into the rubber. I don't know if you ever poured like gas in a plastic cup or a styrofoam cup, but it eats it. Just about the same on here. You eat it, lay it down, let it sit for a few seconds, and it just starts to peel it right up by itself. But I just came behind it with my fingers and just worked through each of these holes, and it's been pretty good. So I'm gonna run this wheel on it one more time just to get like a nice final clean, and then we'll brake clean out all the gunk in there. Alright, let's save the rest of our brake clean and just clean this out with some water or something. We got a pretty clean surface here. Everything's been washed out. There's nothing in the bottom of this. There's some ridges from the casting marks, but that's, you know, it's normal. It's not going off. This did a pretty good job with that bristle thing on the drill bit and the lighter fluid. So let's go ahead and get those seals in place. Get the RTV on there, and then seal this puppy up for good. So let's make sure we have all these bolts. Should be 18. Before we put the oil pan on, what we have to do is put the windage tray back on that we talked about before. The one that we had to cut the holes in and the notches to make it fit right. This has to bolt down with some RTV. Make sure you check deep in there. This is our last chance to pull out any debris. So shine your light, have a look. Let's send it. So you know how this goes together by using this right here as a locator. This is the bolt for the oil pickup to sit on. Ours actually broke, so we had to drill it out so we can fit a nut and bolt in there. And I'm gonna be installing that now so that we can use it later. And that sits in the back of the engine. So it goes like this. I saw online that a lot of people delete these, but you don't want to do that because this adds all kinds of support for what's known as crank walk, and it's not a cool dance. 14 to 20 foot-pounds. Now actually what we want to do is prime this a little bit by putting some oil in there, so make it a little easier for us to start up. Let's get our oil pickup seated on there with our gasket. Okay, we're gonna torque those and then we're gonna put some Loctite on that. So this is 75 to 90 inch-pounds. We're gonna do 89. That was it. And that was it. All right. And that is on there. So let's go ahead and apply RTV to our oil pan and slap it on there. So there's a dowel over here that should sink in. And our gasket should squeeze once we start to torque. Let's go for 90 inch-pounds. Cool. It's on. Let's put some tape over this to seal up the only entrance here, and then put our oil drain plug back in. The bottom end is officially closed. We applied our RTV pretty nicely so we don't have too much on the outside here. So it's about midnight here and it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for watching.